It's another day in Jamina. We might be closer to going to Abeche, which is where we want to be to get to the camps. Early in the morning, we just decided to go out again to the World Food Program, which has a Saturday flight. The UNHCR does not have a Saturday flight.
Okay.
They had already told us that they're full with 5 on the waiting list. They're these small planes. I think they're 18-seaters.
Right.
Well, just we decided to go out there, and we went and spoke with one guy, and he told us that they had not received our emails requesting, because they needed something on paper or on email saying that we were requesting, and kind of make up a story of how official we were and how we belonged on the plane. So we sent that out, but then in the morning they told us that they didn't even get it. We didn't give up there. We asked for the next person, and this guy was very receptive. I mean, he said, okay, you know, I cannot promise anything. You know, we're full, but we'll put you on the waiting list. So we're at least on the waiting list. And the guy has seen our faces and kind of knows the urgency that we expressed.
Good.
So we might be on a plane tomorrow at 6:30. If not, we drive so that we don't wait until Monday.
Okay. So it's either plane or 6:30?
Part of it.
Okay. Good.
Just driving around in Jamina is pretty interesting. Today is Friday, which is their day off. And the streets were just packed, you know, full of people walking and on buses, a lot of people on bikes and motorcycles, and you see a lot of military people just, you know, all over the place. It's I don't know, they're a pretty good percentage of the people walking the streets.
Right.
And Stacey thought, you know, that many of them just wore the camouflage look, you know, for fashion. And we asked Ali, and he said, no, it's because we're in a state of emergency.
Wow.
There's a lot of military people all over. So, yeah, so that feels a little different for us Americans that are not used to that.
Sure. Is there? Do you get a sense of? I mean, is there a certain tension in the streets amongst the people that aren't, you know, in camouflage, or?
You know, I feel it, but I don't know, you know, if I see it in others, or is it just me reflecting it on.
Right.
So yeah, I see the tension, but I'm not sure really if it's real or imagined.
Okay.
So yeah. What was really cool today is that we got to meet Dr. Ashish.
Oh.
He's Brahma.
Great.
Who's a big star because of his 60-minute appearance.
Right.
And he, just as he appeared in 60 Minutes, he's this guy that is just full of passion and that, you know, lives the moment and really cares about what he's doing. He's where he wants to be, and where he wants to be is in the middle of trouble.
Right.
Up in a camp. He's up in the camp that is the most dangerous on this side of the border, and which has been mostly left by NGOs. I think he was one of 4 expats working there in a camp, a very large camp. So right now they rotated him out because of policy with his NGO that they have to rotate out because of the stress and pressure of the situation. They don't want people, you know, going over the edge.
Right.
So he didn't want to leave, but they forced him. So he's going to enjoy a little vacation, a little forced vacation. But yeah, it was really cool to talk with him and just hear about that, how, you know, we completely connect on even if the refugees were getting everything that they needed, it's just not the place for that. You know,
right, right.
Having people in you know, in a camp, you know, is not a complete life. And we also talked about a lot of the beautiful stuff about the Darfuri people, about their art and how they miss very much music and playing instruments, which was a big part of their life back in the camps.
Right.
And for young people, there's just not anything to do. this camp is, they're in very desert-like conditions, so it's not like they can, plant a crop and get, be busy with that, or so it's very difficult for the teenagers and the youth. So yeah, it's a complete different experience.
Right. With all 26,000 plus people in a camp and nothing to do, what do they do to pass the time?
They spend time together. They talk. But yeah, for the young people, it really is not too much. What tends to happen is that young men, start thinking about going back to Sudan. So yeah, it's a dangerous situation.
All right. Well, what do we have planned for today's action that people can take?
Today's action is like for me the biggest bang for your money. If you're gonna do one thing, if that's the level of involvement that you can do. I know that everybody involved in this is going to want to do more, but if there's one thing, it's contacting the president. He's the leader of maybe the most powerful country in the world, so he has a lot of pull. So just to let him know, that each one of us cares about each one of the Darfur people in the camps, and that we want him to take the lead in pushing for the protection of civilians. And they can give it their very personal twist to it and speak from the heart.